All right. All right. We are live tonight. And what I have to do before we start our show tonight is I made a horrible mistake. You know, as a journalist and as a news anchor of the MHH Newswork and news director and owner of the MHH network, I like to make things right. And what I want to do is run a retraction. So earlier today, we did a show about some guys that were trolling us. And we put this picture up of these two gentlemen. And the guy on the right, he is indeed Ian Hawk. And the guy on the left, I said, was the Dabblestorian, which I was wrong. That is not the Dabblestorian. This man has no idea who I am. I mistakenly put his picture up today. This man's real name is American Cupcake. I'm not shitting you. The guy with the beard, the cool looking guy, the guy that my wife said that she would have sex with. The cool guy there is not Dabblestorian. That man's name is American Cupcake. So I want to retract that this gentleman is the man trolling me. He is not trolling me. And I want to say I'm sorry. And as a respected journalist with the integrity that we have at the MHH News Desk, all I can do is apologize and retract the story. But on the other hand, now we have done some research. And we do know what American Cupcake looks like, so we're going to replace his picture. We will melt it back into the replays with the real picture of American Cupcake. Thank you, American Cupcake, for pointing out my mistake. And sometimes journalists make mistakes, and I'm sorry. And I retract that that's you. That in fact, it's not Dabblestorian. The man's name is American Cupcake. I'm sorry. And it won't happen again. I will do intense research. The picture I meant to put up showing American Cupcake, this nice gentleman, sexy man, is this one right here. This is the real picture of American Cupcake, everybody. Enjoy it. Sexy man. Very sexy.
I agree with your wife.
Isn't he sexy? I'd want some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go! So get on with the show!
Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mint-Out is now our special guest, our host, too lazy to put in our new guest tonight, which,
I don't think our guest has anything to promote, but he's here nonetheless.
he is here. I have a feeling we're going to need his expertise.
Well, maybe you do.
I probably will after tonight. I am trying to stop the intro. All right, here we go. All right, we are live. It is Too Stoned with Johnny. Sorry. Fucking narcissist piece of shit with Marco and Johnny. Okay, now just to set things up for what's happening right now is this American Cupcake guy put up and he wrote thank you, and now he has said you've done it now. I'm gonna fucking get you. You are a fucking scumbag, he says. And that was the greatest swerve in radio history tonight. The guy's listening to this show. He's all excited. He's like, "Oh man, you know what? He's scared of me. You know what? He retracted. He's scared." And then I put that picture up.
He doubled down.
And then all of a sudden it goes from thank you to you're dead scumbag. And I don't know why there's I don't know why I have a picture of my
said he was fuckable. I don't know why he's so upset.
and I don't know why I put a picture of me and my children up, but go ahead. Please murder the wife first. She's on my nerves. If you're out to murder my family, start with the wife, please. She's on my nerves. All right. Tonight we have a very special guest because apparently now that a man is threatening my life, I'm going to have to learn some things about firearms. And we have a firearm expert, and his name is Papa Shango. That's not it. That is not it.
You can use Papa Shango. I like that.
I don't know where that came from.
Papa Shango. That's whatever. That works.
Sure, I'll
Papa
take it.
Shango. Papa Shango.
Better ingredients, better velocities. Papa Shango.
Papa Shango. I would buy a Papa Shango extra large slice tonight. I'm hungry.
I think I would too.
Oh my God, this guy has lost his fucking mind. Oh my God. He's lost it. He's gotten like nuclear. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get a firearm. I'm thinking to start with something like this.
Oh hell yeah!
What would you be your expert opinion on this piece?
Well, actually, believe it or not, first things first is not whatever the fuck's happening up front. It's what's happening on your sights. What? What is that?
just in case you want to cut a motherfucker after you shoot him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or maybe-
you have a honing guide for your knife where your sights should be.
So that's probably not, and that would probably be pretty hard to stick down the front of your pants without chopping your dick off.
Just pocket carry it. You make one hole, dedicate the hole for the knife.
So yeah, I mean, if a guy named Cupcake, am I supposed to be afraid of a guy named Cupcake? Do I need to weapon up?
Yeah, that's not. It's not really a good first impression for intimidation, but
Yeah, call the police tonight? Yes, there's a guy after me, and I'm pretty scared. They're like, what's the man's name? I'm gonna go Cupcake.
Told Cupcake he had a beer belly. He's gonna kill me.
Good old Cupcake. So we bring our special guest on. We're gonna as the former now known as Papa Shango. God, I'm so stupid. I really am dumb, but we'll get through it.
Stupid's the name of the game when it comes to this show.
Yeah. And we'll get into Joey C later in our Dabbleverse minute. But until now, we got a weapons expert,
Yes.
Papa
I
Shango.
wouldn't go that far, honestly.
So
I mean, as far
go
as
ahead.
people I know, you're pretty much an expert.
To the layman.
Yeah, basically.
all right. So what
So
started your love for the firearms?
I was always like sort of interested in it as a kid, just from video games and movies and all that normal stuff. But what really started it is I got the most boring job on the fucking planet. And so my job was essentially to stare at the wall. And I needed something to do. And just, YouTube rabbit holing random things. And all of a sudden I kind of started down this YouTube rabbit hole about guns, and it just kind of never stopped.
So what was your first piece that you went out and bought? Your very first piece?
The first one I ever owned, or the first one I ever bought?
Well, I guess the first first gun you actually fired that was yours.
It was a Savage 64, which is a semi-automatic 22 long rifle. Just a little cheapo model. I still have it to this day.
That's what. Yeah, I know. I grew up in Wisconsin in a hunting family, so I started with the 410.
There you go. Yeah, that really is just the Southern 22, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. It really was. It really wasn't going to kill anything, but it felt like a real gun, and it did make a loud noise, so I was happy.
410 will fuck some shit up. You just gotta use it right. Don't
Same
be,
thing with 22.
Don't be 50 feet away.
Yeah.
Now, Now, have you accidentally shot yourself in the face like those dumb blondes do when you
No.
first started shooting?
No, absolutely. The closest I ever came was with a 22, actually. That thing is disgusting.
That's my swamp gun I have.
Yeah, sure
We
looks
went
like
up-
it.
I-
Did the swamp make it?
Yes, we go out in the middle of the night popping coons. Raccoons, that is.
Gotta clarify here.
Sometimes you got to do on the internet before I get in trouble. That Johnny, he's a racist. He says he's out hunting coons. No, raccoons.
Listen,
You
he
got
said
the
he's from the
flash?
South.
Got the flashlight and the spring-loaded trigger. So you started off with your little 22, and then what was the first like deadly firearm purchase that you made?
Well, I mean, 22 is plenty deadly. You know, don't go around thinking it's not, because it totally fucking is. It's just like the bottom end of deadly. Like, don't go any smaller. But the next gun I bought was a CZ75 clone from like Turkey or something. I don't remember exactly where the manufacturer is from, but it was called the SAR B69P.
Is that like an assault kind of rifle?
No, that was another handgun. It was
Oh,
a
okay.
9mm, just pretty standard, basically a clone or a copy of a gun from the 70s that some shitter across seas pumps out for like $300, and they're garbage. Bought one of those, played with it for like 4 months, sold it, traded guns like it was underwear for a while.
It's kind of fun. It's like collecting Pokemon for women, but it's collecting guns for guys. Once you get that in your blood, it's nonstop trading, gun shows.
Well, and that's kind of the nice thing about firearms is normally when you buy pretty much anything, it goes down in value. Firearms, it tends to be the opposite way around. And a lot of people tend to actually prefer used guns rather than new ones, including myself. I'll usually take a used one over a new one.
Do you know what? Do you know what most gun owners love? They love this. They love when a guy goes on and goes, "They're trying to take our guns. I'm telling you right now, they're going to take all our goddamn guns." Next thing you know, your guns are worth 3 times as much. There's no ammunition. Anti-gun talk fuels gun sales through the roof.
Dude, going into COVID, I had like 16 guns. I was like,
Jesus.
I'm a rich bastard. This is fucking great. I sold half of them and made a shit ton of money.
Oh, especially pandemic, people were buying handguns and guns like they were going out of style. Thinking that some kind of weird aliens were going to come down. We're going to pop them with some 22s and get rid of them.
Why not?
So
if aliens came down, I'd pop them with this gun here.
I fucking wouldn't, not with what's loaded in it. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't look like it has a primer, which would be an issue. Actually, no, that's the solution to the issue.
So, would you shoot this gun?
No, dear fucking God, no. That would explode.
Yeah, it would literally break your wrist.
And no, it would literally turn into shrapnel. It's a bomb. That's a bomb.
The bomb in your own head.
Yes.
All right, now
So
I know you. Sorry, I just wanted to get to this. I know you know where this is from.
Yeah, of course.
So, can you? I was just curious. Do you know what the revolvers are, and also, do you know what that rifle is?
The rifle, I can't tell exactly what it is, but judging from the loading gate, it looks like it's either a 45 long Colt or a 44 mag. I can't tell any further than that. And
It's probably a Winchester 44.
Maybe. Cowboy guns are so similar. Besides the revolvers, it's kind of hard to pick them apart. It's like bolt actions. Like, just looking at a bolt action from the side, you're like, fuck, I don't know. It looks like every other bolt action ever. It's a Mauser pattern bolt action. those pistols. If I had a better
They're
angle,
real old.
they're definitely real old. I can't remember the name of them, but it looks like the kind of pistol. It's actually a very popular pistol for felons to own because it's black powder. And so you can see it's got that little hinge under the barrel with that rod. That's designed for you to actually pack your powder and your ball in each chamber, and you use that lever to pack the ball down. But in a lot of states, black powder guns aren't considered firearms, so felons can own them. So a lot of them would be carrying stuff like that around.
So if any felons are listening, take note of that.
For sure. Dude, I would. Hell yeah.
Johnny Cush right now is taking note.
I mean, you're basically walking around with a pirate gun, but
and if you load it too hot, it will blow up in your hand. Just letting you know.
I have a Street 9mm. My car broke down yesterday, so I had to literally walk 20 feet into the desert and bury it in case the cops showed up.
I mean, yeah.
So I know where my gun is. I set the GPS coordinates, but I got to go back and grab it tomorrow.
Give her a nice bath after.
Yeah, because maybe I need to get these gunpowder guns. But I got people after me. We got Cupcake. What now in your collection? What is your prized gun right now? What is your favorite gun that you own currently?
I wouldn't even call it a prized gun. It's just the gun I like the most, but it's just my old beater Mosin Nagant, which, for those who aren't familiar, it was Russia's standard bolt-action rifle for a really long time. The history of the development of that gun is so fucking funny. It's the most Russian thing I've seen in my life. If you just want to go down a rabbit hole, I don't even know where to start. But it's just like, the reason it was developed was because the Russians were so far behind technologically that they were fighting the Turks. And the Turks were fighting them with lever action rifles, kind of like what we're seeing up here. And they were still using single shot rifles. So, you fire, you have to open the loading gate, put a round in, close it, fire again, right? So the Turks were ahead of them by 2 or 3 generations. And all the generals came back up. And they were basically like, dude, we have to get new guns. We have to. And they were like, well, just shoot faster, dipshit. And they were like, we're past just shooting faster. It doesn't work anymore. We need new shit. So they started this development process where they basically stole the design of like 2 or 3 other guns and then gave 2 or 3 other guys the rights to work on this design. And they just tripped over each other for like 25 fucking years until they finally made a gun that mostly worked. By the time it came out, it was basically pretty much irrelevant.
And that's basically your favorite gun right now.
Yes, I love that gun.
Goddamn commie. Damn commie guns. What the hell's going on? This is America.
Yeah. Listen, the ammo's real cheap.
you just go down to that Russian deli down the street. They got boxes of them for $1.
Dude, you buy them in giant Spam cans.
It's crazy.
You need a can opener to get to them. And you open it up and they're covered in grease and they smell like fucking death. It's just
Well, it's in case you get attacked by Muslims.
Not that kind of grease.
Oh.
So you got that. Now do you get to shoot a lot where you're at?
Sometimes it depends. I am but a college student, so I don't fork out the money for ammo these days. But I have my little carry piece, and I make sure to put a couple mags out of it every once in a while.
Did you say Terry piece?
Carry. It's the gun I carry around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you really can't do that at the dorm.
No. Well, I'm
not
not
a
even
good
that
idea.
I'm all remote, baby. I don't fuck with other people. I don't want some dickhole teacher like talking to me for 6 hours. I'll just do it myself.
So now you get to shoot every once in a while. I mean, you love the guns. There's guns everywhere. Now, what do you think about? Do you have an AR-15?
Yeah. I built one pre-COVID.
You built
Still
it
rocking it.
like from
Well-
scratch? You went out and got the wood and then forged the steel, or you just got parts?
No, there's no wood. That's actually what I was about to say. Is that building's a real loose term. No, I basically got the parts and assembled it. But people say, "Oh, I built my AR." No, you didn't. You fucking Legoed it, which is what I did.
And they're semi-automatic still, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can't. I mean, it's not like you got a full machine. It just looks like a machine gun. It's basically a 30-06 that looks nasty, right?
Well, it's a lot less than a 30-06.
Really?
Oh yeah, considerably less.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you're able to rapidly change the picture up there, but a 30-06 is a whopping rifle round. Kind of like the round that the Mosin Nagant shoots, the 30-06 was designed back when black powder was a thing. That's when everyone was using. So a lot of those cartridges are really big because you needed a lot more black powder to get, more impact. But when smokeless powder came out, they were like, well, I'm not going to change the casing. We have all the tooling to just make it how it is. So it just became, too fucking much. No, the round that the typical AR shoots is actually 22 caliber. It's a
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was like some giant cop-killing bullet that penetrated squad cars and.
No, it's not.
So your AR-15 is basically just popping out 22s.
Not like a 22 long rifle.
Okay,
It's
I got you.
It's a 22 caliber projectile, so it's the same diameter as maybe a 22 long rifle. It's a little bit bigger, but it's got a lot more powder.
It's just more powder.
So the fundamental theory behind the cartridge that shoots is its velocity over bullet size. So it's making a tiny bullet go really fast instead of a big bullet going, fast.
So yeah, that's you learn something every day. I always thought that was a higher caliber.
No. I mean, they're really easy to control. It's actually in the wide world of rifle rounds, it's on the smaller side for sure.
So, if you now, what's the most powerful gun you've ever got to shoot? Like an RPG, like this guy here?
No, I saw the video of him blowing that thing up. That was rough.
That's horrible.
Did you hear that guy was totally fine, by the way?
Really? It didn't scorch his face off?
And he said he had some minor burns, and it did break his jaw. But, I mean, you watch that video, you're like, he's fucking dead. That dude has to be dead. And he walked to the hospital. He was fine.
He's either dead or his face is melted. He's got that permanent burn victim face thing going on,
Where it looks like God made you out of Play-Doh and stopped halfway through.
So what is
Sorry, that was kind of fucked up.
That was great. Oh my god. Oh, poor Cupcake. Anyways. Poor Cupcake. I'm so sorry for Cupcake. Play-Doh face. Play-Doh face. So yeah, I mean, have you ever made any, I don't know, bombs or anything? You ever blow shit up? We used to blow shit up as kids.
I would like to officially say I've never. No.
I know you've messed around with thermite before.
Not thermite. No, you're talking about tannerite.
Oh, tannerite. That's right.
Those are very different things. Yeah, but you can just get tannerite at if you're in a rural area, you can get that shit at the grocery store. It's not hard to come by.
Yeah, if we had that, goddamn, we had a producer I could put up that when Jake Busey got blown up using that shit on a safe, unjustified.
Oh yeah, dude, people do such just dumb shit things with Tannerite. It's so dumb.
Oh, I
Put 'em
remember
in,
what we
put, like
did.
5
is we,
pounds in a washing machine and just turn it into an IED and stand 30 feet away from it.
I remember we took an old car battery and filled it with that shit, sealed it completely, watertight, put a watertight fuse in it, threw it in the middle of the lake, lit it, and it basically shook every house around the lake off the foundation. They thought that there was a bomb dropped in the lake.
Yeah, because you dropped a fucking bomb in the lake.
We did, and to this day it's unsolved, and hopefully we're on beyond statutations. The fire truck was driving around the block for almost 3 hours looking for this house that blew up because they couldn't figure out where it came from. And we're just standing there smoking cigarettes by the edge of the lake. We're like, oh man, lake just went up in the air. Oh my God. You know, and then you go home and then you figure out that you just committed one of the biggest felonies in the town's history.
Unsolved.
Listen, we've all been there where you do something in the heat of the moment and you later learn that you're like, wow, that was a serious felony.
Yeah, we had no idea it was going to blow up and shake houses. Thank God it didn't go off on the ride there on our bicycles. We'd all been dead.
Oh, dude. There would have been a massive fucking crater. There wouldn't be anything.
No. That's how dumb I am. That's why I shouldn't have firearms. A college-educated man like yourself maybe should have some firearms. Me probably should stay away.
I wouldn't say college educated so far. I'm learning how to talk to computers, man. It's not exactly college education.
Yeah, it's bullshit getting this degree so someone will hire you.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like, I could learn this shit on my own, but I need a piece of paper saying I know how to do it, and so now I gotta pay you a bunch of fucking money.
Like most normal, intelligent people, it's like, just hire me, bring me in, show me what to do for 10 minutes, because I'm going to do the same fucking thing every day anyways, and let's go.
If I'm having a real rough time, it'll be like 3 or 4 months, and then I'll be fine. Like, just quit being a dick about it.
Oh, it's one thing after they're making these poor young men go to school for no reason. What a problem. But thank God you are. You don't want to end up like me. You end up like old Uncle Johnny, dumb and making fun of fat Midwestern guys in the middle of the night.
I think that's just a fine.
Because you have nothing better to do with your time.
I don't. I really don't. So, what do you think about this Alec Baldwin thing that happened? This is crazy. I can't believe he's getting charged with manslaughter for shooting somebody on a movie set. Now,
I
being a
really
gun guy,
that super hard. But what I heard was that there was, I don't know how true this is, because like I said, this was kind of speculation, that there was debris in the barrel, and when he fired it, it sent the debris out, because he was shooting a blank, which, is basically just a round with no lead in it, and the top is crimped off, so it makes a bang.
Yep.
There's no projectile. But if there was something in the barrel, it would still come flying out. That's what I heard happened. If that's the truth, then great.
I mean, the thing I don't understand, I might be following it way too closely because I have nothing to do with my life. I'm not going to school like you. But the thing I noticed is he saying that I didn't pull it. It went off accidentally. And
Bullshit,
now we know that's bullshit.
No.
You're doing a test run with the gun, doing a test scene, and you're shooting into the camera. I mean, it happened.
The closest thing he could maybe claim is that he pulled it and he didn't pull the hammer all the way back, and he let it go, and the hammer didn't lock, and it fell forward. But even so, like, it's his job to be in control of the goddamn thing.
Yeah, I can't even understand why there would be any. Well, like I said, it was just debris, though. Now, can debris build in a gun that's been shot like 1,000 times with blanks?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, but that would typically just leave behind carbon. It's just this black gunk, just carbon buildup. That's not gonna put a hole in someone generally.
But if they're using an old as fuck gun and it might have a metal shaving inside of it.
Right. That could be it. And ultimately, it's not even necessarily his job to make sure of that shit. It's the movie set's armorer's job. They're the ones who make sure there's no live ammo, that the guns are checked all the time, to make sure shit like this doesn't happen. I would say that's probably where, in this situation, at least a decent amount of the fault lies.
This shit got Brandon Lee killed.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Is the armorer wasn't doing his fucking job.
Yeah, I know that fucking Crow 2 movie sucked without him in it. I'll tell you that.
That's what I heard.
But what I also heard though on the movie set is they were firing live rounds out into the desert. They were actually shooting real rounds.
Oh,
Why would there ever be live rounds on a movie set? I mean, and isn't an armorist, by the way, licensed by the state you're shooting in?
probably. I don't actually know. But I mean, it's not unheard of to use live rounds in a movie. Like, that's a thing that people have done. And if that's, what they set up is like, listen, there is going to be live rounds. That's fine. It's not illegal to use live rounds. But you just have to be on top of that shit. Realistically, you would have to see if you could somehow find the entrance wound of, I believe it was a woman who got shot, right?
Yeah, the camera director, the lady.
Yeah, if you could see the entrance wound, it would tell you exactly what happened. But I don't think that's ever been released.
Yeah, probably won't be released for 10 years.
Probably. But
But
the fact that he was found guilty means there was probably a live round in there.
Probably, yeah, it's probably a live round. And the other thing is, why him? Why not the person in charge? Why is not the armorist being charged? That's what blows my mind. The person that's actually responsible for this woman's death is just walking around no problem. Well, just because this guy's got a big name, we're going to slap a murder charge on him?
Well, that's exactly it. It's like, we don't really know all the details because they haven't released a lot of it. And there's a lot of lies and speculation going around. It's kind of at the who knows point, I don't buy that there was a metal shaving in the gun or something. That doesn't add up to shooting through someone with a black powder revolver.
Exactly.
Using black powder, but still, that doesn't add up to me. Realistically, I think a live round got snuck in somehow and shit happened.
The thing I don't understand either is why do we even have to shoot the guns? We have editing. We could add gunshots into the shit later.
Because shooting guns is fun.
It never looks right.
That is correct. The Jackie Chan movie we're showing right now doesn't sound right when he's firing the weapon.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right. And there's some, part of acting where if you have that tactile feedback, it's just gonna feel right. It's like if you're acting and you're fighting a puppet, or if you're fighting the air, which one's gonna look better?
Yeah, definitely the real puppet. You got to have a puppet.
We should just start beating puppets.
For those who are just tuning in right now, we have firearms expert Papa Shango tonight. Marco, of course, and dipshit Johnny here on Two Stoned. We are too stoned
also
to know anything about guns. We know nothing about guns, so we're asking the stupidest questions anybody could ever ask a guy that knows anything about firearms.
Yeah, I'm not an expert. I'm just, too into it. That's all.
What do you think? What do you think attracts you to the guns? Is it the bang? Is it the power? Is it the excitement? What is it?
Realistically, it's not even necessarily like the shooting of them. Like, I find the shooting of them fun, and the sport is fun. I really just love like ballistics and the theory behind it, and engineering, and why some guns fail and why some don't. It's just everything around it is what I find interesting rather than the shooting of it itself, even if I still enjoy it.
And the history of them.
Yes. Like I said, it's every facet of it, I find. Like, one thing I always tell people is, like, it's always a funny story when it comes to firearms development, because it is. It's always a funny story.
Well, I can't
Circling back
imagine the
to
amount of
oh,
amount
sorry,
of
go ahead.
firearms. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't imagine the amount of firearms that were invented that blew guys' fingers and hands and guys losing half their faces.
Oh, dude, it happened, especially back like black powder days. It happened
Yes.
all the time.
And like back in the
Um,
day, too, you're
I-
rolling around with this black powder on your side and you're smoking cigars. How many guys blew themselves up just from accidentally dropping a cigar in their gunpowder bag back in the
Oh,
day?
that totally happened for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Guys walking through the woods, boom!
The real killer was revolvers. That's when people started really losing fingers. Because there's this really bad problem with black powder, is that black powder burns a lot slower than smokeless powder, which is what we have today.
Oh, okay.
Which is why when you see like medieval reenactments, there's that huge like smoke screen that envelops the battlefield. That's the smoke from the black powder. But because of that, because it takes so much longer to burn, black powder revolvers, when they were loaded too hot, or people just start fucking with them a little bit, they would actually, that gas could spill into the other chamber of the revolver and ignite extra rounds that weren't even in your chamber.
Holy
and would
shit.
just detonate your fucking gun.
Jesus. So guns have really killed a lot of people accidentally.
Oh,
to where we
sure.
gotten today. I can only imagine. I mean, using really raw, primitive gun, iron making and playing with metal and getting the right size bullet into a gun, getting the shaft just the right size without it blowing up on you. It had to have been a painstaking process back in the day.
Yeah, one of the biggest issues with it was metallurgy, for sure. I mean, I have this gun from 1917.
Wow.
Yes. It's a U.S. military issued rifle. But back then, for those guns, the first so many of them that were produced, it was like the first 400,000 or something. Nowadays, you shouldn't fire at all. Like they say, do not shoot these things. They're dangerous. They will blow up. And it's because at that point in time, modern metallurgy, methods and theory hadn't been developed. And they were literally just like eyeballing that shit. They'd be like, yep, that shit looks hot enough, and fucking send it on down the line.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was that bad. So yeah, that was a big part of it. It's like, I don't know where this fucking thing came from.
Now, have you ever fired yours?
Yes.
Now, how fucking scared were you? You get the thing on, you get that on your shoulder, you're like, this motherfucker might blow my face off right now, but I gotta pull the trigger, right?
You have to do it once, right? I loaded it up, I emptied 5 rounds, and I went, well, it didn't explode, and I don't think I've shot it since.
We're gonna count our cards, and we're gonna leave them there.
Uh-huh. But now if I actually remember, I can put it on the thing. It works. Didn't blow up.
Yeah, true. I remember reading that the guy who invented the Glock, when he tried out the first Thank you. When he was testing out the prototypes for the Glock, he would intentionally shoot with his left hand. In case it blew up, it wouldn't blow up his dominant hand.
Honestly, I don't doubt it.
It's crazy.
I don't doubt it at all. Well, and Glock really spearheaded, handguns. The modern handgun is what's referred to as striker fired. So, like the pistols you see in the picture above, they're so blurry you can't fucking see it, but they're hammer fired. Which means there's a little hammer and a catch, and you pull the catch out of the way, and the hammer hits a firing pin. Striker fired is when the firing pin has a spring around it that is compressed. So pulling a trigger releases that, and that's a really shitty explanation. Basically, they're fundamentally So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in the development of a new type of firearm, he was like, I don't know, this shit might fucking blow up. If I
think
made
if
a gun,
think
I
if
wouldn't shoot
you're-
it with my right hand.
Well, this is a
Yeah, we
Glock
are-
right here, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. With a knife, just in case.
Yeah.
In case you run out of bullets. So we got the old guns, we got the new guns, we got guns everywhere. Now, the thing about guns is beyond killing machines, they really are works of art. I mean, the pieces and the workmanship and the precision that goes into milling these things. It really is an art form. I think you kind of maybe enjoy the art form of the gun more than the gun itself, maybe.
To a degree, yeah, I would agree with that. Not if it doesn't work, though. You can make a beautiful gun, nickel plate it and engrave it. But if it doesn't work, fuck off.
I mean, yeah. What's the point of having a gun if if it doesn't work? It's just a mantelpiece at that point.
Right. Yeah, I don't really get the really flashy part of guns. People with their gold-plated fucking deals and all that. I think it's stupid. But I can appreciate some things.
I love Mexican Kingpin pistols. Those are the best. They're gold. They got the pearl.
Yep.
Beautiful. And they're engraved. Every inch of it's engraved. And it really is the most beautiful thing on earth.
You know why that's so prominent? The Mayans were one of the first civilizations to actually develop a system of engraving. They were one of
Really?
the first primitive cultures to develop that. So they've been doing it way longer than everyone else, which is why that stuff is so prevalent on the guns in Mexico.
Yeah, I like that. But then you got to get a hat and special boots. I mean, it's a whole thing
Right,
when you get a
can't
gun like
just
that.
get the gun. You gotta go get paintball.
Gotta
Yeah,
get a poncho, a sombrero.
Yeah, one piece of your clothing has to include a rooster on it for some reason.
For sure, yeah. Whatever you're doing, stop at 1 p.m.
Now, I've went to gun ranges and hung out. The scariest gun I've ever fired was a real Uzi. That son of a bitch popped off so quickly.
Yeah.
There's no way you could. You know what? I didn't hit one piece of the target either with that fucking thing.
Full auto guns are fucking dumb.
They are the most inaccurate pieces of shit ever made, but everything's just so cool because you see them in the movies. Well, that's why.
Right. Well, and you always see like on YouTube people with their full auto Glocks. They're like brap, but like 11 out of the 14 rounds you shot were like 60 degrees in the air. Like, why? In a rifle platform, you can tuck it into your shoulder and you can control it and be on target. On a pistol platform, and like even the Uzi's like kind of pushing it. Fuck it. It's not worth it.
No, I mean, isn't it just better to shoot right the first time and not have to spray 6 million bullets into shit?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
And what people don't understand, shooting is really hard. Like when the police pull people over, they literally unload 200 rounds and nick the guy's elbow.
To be fair, the police are fucking terrible at shooting.
That is
like the marksmanship exam for most police departments is a goddamn joke.
It's got to be. I mean, I've never seen anybody spray bullets, and nobody ever gets shot by the police.
Well, and a lot of it is like, you always see in movies, people are in this weird situation and they pick up a handgun and bow bow and they hit the guy.
Yeah.
For someone who has never shot a pistol before, shooting a pistol is hard. It is really not the easiest thing to do. So
well, the
especially
first
when
thing
you're running backwards and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like, of course you're gonna miss a bunch.
Well, that's why Bruce Willis was never killed. They were shooting at him with Uzis.
Yeah, I would have done shit with that thing.
So I know Marco needs a weapon because he has bears chasing him constantly. Now, Marco, do you own any firearms?
Oh yeah, we got firearms.
Oh, it's the war.
God damn it. God damn it. I thought that was the clip of you running from the bear. I'm sorry. That was the wrong clip.
I
God
was so
damn it.
confused. I was like, is someone gonna get shot? What's happening?
Yeah, we just wanted to throw a snuff film in there and just ruin our careers.
Kill the audience on their toes, you know.
Yeah.
You We got to hire a producer that's not high to run this show because I can't do it anymore. It's too much. Weed and running a broadcast at the same time is tough.
I couldn't do it.
All right, so we're on with fire expert Papa Shango. If he doesn't shoot you, he'll put a voodoo spell on you. Man from New Orleans.
There you go.
So we got a Canadian, a guy from New Orleans, and we got the Vegas guy. We got it all covered, the whole continent.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish I could talk all Cajun like, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to even remember how that even goes. So I don't.
I don't know that it's possible for
Gotta
someone
do the
who's
edit.
not Cajun to do a real good Cajun accent. I don't know that it's possible at all.
Well, Bobby Boucher,
It's such a.
Adam Sandler did a bang-up job.
It's been so long, I don't even remember it. I'm weird and I don't watch movies like ever. So
That's crazy.
Is it because the guns offend you?
yeah, it's
So you don't watch movies. So what do you do with your time? I know you can't play with guns all the time. There's got to be something else you do.
I
probably
do a
them
little bit of everything.
I bet you sit and play them goddamn video games, don't you?
You goddamn video games. Yeah. Yeah, I do a little bit of that. I do a considerable amount of that. But I don't know. I'm kind of one of those guys where I typically do something for like a month, and then I'm like, all right, fuck that thing, and then I jump to another thing. So what is the dumbest thing you jumped into, like went full force into, and you look at it now and you're like, why in the fuck did I do that? Why was I shooting blow darts in my apartment? There's got to be some Woodworking.
weird woodworking. Yes, doesn't it look easy?
Yeah, it does. Like you watch all these people do it, and woodworkers are like, oh, it's not that bad. You just do it, and you're like, oh, okay. And you're like, wow, but you need $400 worth of shit. You gotta buy wood. And then you get it, and you're like, what do I do? And they're like, you just do it. And you're like, fuck off. What do you mean? You glue some shit together, it doesn't work. You're like, how hard is it to glue something? Yeah. I did it for like a month. I tried whittling. Even whittling I didn't like. I was like, you know what? Fuck all of it. I'm done with it.
Done touching wood.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm done
done with the wood. Like I said, I wanted to make a kitchen table one time too. So I went to Menards, got the wood, carved it all up, and like I said, the first time I put something on top of it, it just fell right down. You're out there varnishing this stupid wood. And you're like, I'm just going to make a box. I don't know why I need a box, but I'm going to make one because I'm a woodworker now.
Well, that's the universal first step to woodworking is box for some reason. I took wood shop in high school. The only thing I made was a box.
A box to put somebody's ashes in later, I guess. I don't even know what the box. We'll put your stash in it.
That box. I probably threw it on the highway, knowing that age.
Fuck this stupid box.
Well, and it was a really shitty box. I fucked off a lot. So I don't know how I passed that class because I just sat doing like AutoCAD on the computer, just making like intricately detailed dicks and doing nothing the whole time. And my woodshop teacher straight up caught me smoking in the bathroom and was just like, meh, and then just washed his hands and left. I was like, oh, you are a woodshop teacher. Nice.
I don't even want to talk to the principal. I hate that cocksucker. I don't give a shit. Let the kids smoke.
Basically, yeah. I remember at one time I had a quote unquote smartwatch back before smartwatches were a thing, and it was a total hunk of shit. But I just thought it was neat. And so I would sleep in his class all the time and be like, "Are you paying attention?" I'd be like, "I'm recording it on the watch." I wasn't recording it on the watch. But he was so dumbfounded by it. He was like, "Wow, that's awesome,"
Well, this kid's really got something going on here. This kid's tech savvy.
Yeah. Look how good his CAD skills are.
He really makes nice dicks. Oh man, he draws some nice dicks on that computer, but his box is all out of whack.
I'm straight.
Unfortunately, your box wasn't.
No, it definitely wasn't.
I remember too making those stupid projects in school and coming home and giving it to like your parents, and they look at you and they're like, "Oh my God, you're going to be working at Burger King at 50." This
Our
kid
parents
has
were more
no
like that. "Oh,
woodworking
yeah,
skills.
That's cool." I just put it in a closet because they can't throw it away. Just put it somewhere else.
Yeah, I went on a bench. I was going to make a puppet at in woodworking class, and it didn't turn out very well.
A puppet?
You're gonna make a wooden puppet?
A string puppet. I thought I was going to be original.
Oh.
And all the strings would get taken.
Marionette.
Yeah, I made like this marionette thing, and it was horrible. It had like dowels as hands. It was just bad.
I mean, that's how I'd probably do it.
I think I used
line through that bitch.
Yep, fish. Yep, 12 pound line. I think I used one of those Cub Scout wood cars that you're supposed to carve out as his body.
Like a boxcar?
Yeah, the boxcar you had to cut out, whittle down, and go to the race with. Yeah, I'd start with that as the block, and then I made a ball for the head, the sander.
I mean, it probably would have looked better than my piece of shit box, honestly.
And no, it didn't, because all the strings got tied up, and I couldn't get them untangled, and the puppet just stood there looking retarded.
It's amazing when you do something like that, and you're like, "This should be simple," and you start doing it, and you're like, "Who the fuck figured this out the first time?"
Yeah, like who made Pinocchio? Who made that first Pinocchio? That guy was a fucking genius. Guy's like the fucking Babe Ruth of wood.
Weird analogy, but I'll take it.
So we tried the woodworking was stupid. I'm trying to think what other stupid hobbies guys do. I'm trying to think. Maybe some type of weird car. Oh, you watch too many car rebuild shows and thought you could make a Mustang.
If I have to pop the hood of my car, I'm in a bad fucking mood. I don't want anything to do with cars, dude. I like dipping my hands in a lot of things and learning how things work. The second I look at an engine, I'm like, this thing's bullshit. Fuck this.
So you haven't got into the cars? No drag racing? No Tokyo Drift? I got my Mazda with the e-brake all set up. I'm gonna go run some corners.
Yeah.
My Mazda.
I broke the e-brake on my Mazda doing similar things.
I don't know. There's something. If you buy a Mazda, you have to go out and Tokyo Drift. I don't know what it is about that.
I don't know if it's just generally a Mazda thing, because I'm not a car guy. But mine was like 3 inches from the fucking ground.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming that from the factory, it's probably nice for that. But anytime I had to jack it up, I'm like, this thing's going to fucking kill me. Using like $18 Harbor Freight jack stands, and they're creaking the whole time. I'm like, it's tilting to the left. I'm just like, fuck it.
They're not so fast and not so furious.
Yep.
What a So yeah, so we did we did the guns, we did the wood shop. I'm trying to think what other stupid hobby that I've done that you probably failed at too, like I did. Maybe putting those ships inside the bottle. That's what I like to do.
Nope, no, I never tried that one. Well, and my hands are stupid and shitty. To put it lightly.
Yeah, that's why you're a bass player.
Fuck off. I've always had like really bad motor control. Like I couldn't tie my shoes till I was like 14. Like my hands just couldn't do it. I had some sort of like deficiency or something. It never got diagnosed, but it was definitely there. So like
That's
sports
weird.
and yeah, I know. So any sports or like fine motor skill type things, I really couldn't do until I was like 18, 20. And by then I was so fucked up all the time I didn't want to do anything anyway.
So you were one of those bad kids that were hanging out with the bad crowd, huh?
Yeah. I basically moved out at like 16. Like not officially. I'd come home like a day or two out of the week, sometimes like withdrawing. Just like sleep for 18 hours and be like, okay, bye, and just, show up later.
So what? Oh, so you started out with the weed, right, first, or did you start out with drinking first?
Drinking was technically first, but they were pretty close.
Okay, so you're drinking, you're smoking weed. Who's the first guy that brings the cocaine? Who's the first guy? Because there's always the first guy that brings the cocaine into the party.
I will
The
clarify,
same guy that
I've never
brought the
actually
weed.
done coke.
Really?
I stayed away from that one because I was scared I was going to like it too much, and I probably would. It's one of those things where I'm like, that
it's a
looks
hell of a
real
drug.
nice, but I can tell I'll be fucked if I take this.
Yeah, I just picture you with the guns and Scarface with a big pile of coke in front of
Right,
you.
you think coke really would be the next step, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm projecting myself, I think.
Yeah, no, for me it was mostly I was a pillhead.
Yeah.
I was a pillhead and mushrooms were my
Yep.
two big things. Aside from, alcohol and drinking and occasionally like smoking codeine. When,
Smoking codeine. Did you do the thing where you used to get the what do you call that? Cough syrup, and you drain it and then you would smoke it?
No, we would just get like prescription strength codeine. Like you have to get like they don't just really want to give that shit out. And we just dip our
No.
cigarettes in it and smoke it.
Wow. And what did that do? I've never thought of doing that. What does that do?
Compared to the pills and everything else, it was pretty mild. But yeah, honestly, it kind of sucked. Like, I don't recommend it at all. You feel buzzy and, inebriated, but you don't feel good. You just feel different. Like, when I get fucked up, I want to be high, not different.
Exactly. So probably you ended up with a fucking headache and you went to bed early.
Right. Pretty much. But I still did it all the time.
And of course, you guys, guys your age, is probably Xanax was a big breakfast cereal at a time.
For me, it was opiates.
Okay.
That was my cup of tea for sure.
God, that's expensive.
It wasn't back when I was doing it. I never paid a dime for it. I'd literally just be like sitting in the trap, and people would roll up and be like, "Do you want these?" and just hand me like 120 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah, people, because when that was before they really started cracking down on all that. So we had it all the time. And if we didn't have it, we could go buy it somewhere for not too horribly expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the worst day in history is when they put the time release in the oxys. That was probably the first downfall.
Yeah, they started putting shit in them to make them burn. If you snort them, it never stopped me. I was like, wow, that's inconvenient, and just railed that shit every day anyways. And now I get nosebleeds, so
Yeah, you don't want to end up like fucking Artie Lang.
Yeah, luckily I'm not that bad, but yeah, every once in a while I get a nosebleed and they're like, how old are you? Getting nosebleeds? I'm like, I don't want to get into it.
Have you seen that guy's nose?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Jesus.
He
Apparently
looks like he got
broke
branded.
Apparently he broke a salt shaker while he was chopping up some coke and snorted some glass into his nose, and then he got infected, and a week later a guy punched him, and now you know him with a little flat nose.
Ugh. It's like when you eat like a rotten apple on the side of the road and you step on it, just kind of like.
Yep. Poor Artie. Yeah, you can only party for so long. You party and then you move on. You can't do it forever.
No, you can't. I'm glad I got out when I did. It was like the original gang kind of just started. People falling off one by one, so I'm going to jail. And pretty soon, it just becomes shallow of what it once was, and I'm like, the community's gone, and I just started kind of kicking the habits one by one until now I'm basically just stuck with nicotine.
So so you were hitting the opiates pretty good. Did you have to go through the whole withdrawal symptoms and?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was a pain in the fucking ass.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I was a pain in the ass before him too.
You were especially a pain in the ass, though.
It really is one of the worst sicknesses I've ever been through. I've been through it like 8 times now, but not doing it again tomorrow.
Not if I can help it, and I got $25.
No, I mean, you're just fucking sick. That I can't even explain. Like that's why people don't get off the drugs.
The flu was evil.
Yes. Like literally, you wish for death at a point. You're just like, I can't handle this anymore. Just give me the fucking drugs. I need it. I can't get to it.
Yeah, I specifically remember like one of those days, where you're like, I gotta change my fucking life. I couldn't get any hydros, and so I just started drinking like a motherfucker. And I don't even remember how I drank, but it was definitely alcohol poisoning. And I just remember like waking up at like 1 PM, like in the corner of my room in 4 blankets, shivering, just like, I think I'm dying. This isn't good. Did that for like 8 hours till I started to feel a little bit better, and I was like, I can't keep this up.
You can't. It's got a shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
So you got off the oxys, and you just now. Do you drink now anymore?
On occasion, I'm not the kind of like a recovering alcoholic. There's some people who it's like they can't drink at all, otherwise they'll spiral. Like I'm not like that. I'll be fine. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like with some of the other stuff, it's a little bit more difficult if I've ever like come back around to it. But the drinking's never really been a huge issue. Other than when I was like full blown, like might as well be under a bridge alcoholic. Once I got past that, I was pretty okay.
It's pretty easy to get into. It's pretty easy to get into one of those drunken, months, days, weeks, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was about a year for me. Was when it was at the worst. But what actually saved me was antidepressants. It was really weird. Because obviously I was fucking depressed. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, yeah, you can't get high anymore. Getting high depresses you.
So attracted to drugs was part 1 is I had horrible social anxiety, and when I was fucked up, I didn't. So I was like, wow, if I'm fucked up, I can engage with people and be normal and feel okay. And part 2, I was really, really angry for a long time. And so I was basically just like drugging my feelings away, And even like you said, that's got a shelf life, and eventually it just comes crashing down.
Yeah, you run out of money or connections.
Yeah. I eventually got hit with this depression that was so bad. It's that kind of depression where, how do I want to word this? It's like the world could end and you'd be like, yay, You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do fucking anything. You can't do anything. You're stuck in a fucking hole and you can't climb out.
Well, I've always been excited too. I mean, I've been at the depression too. They say the world's gonna end. I'm like, fuck yeah! I want it to end. So I was here for the last day. I want to be here for the last day, and know I was here to the last day. Know that I lived.
Busted into my room with a shotgun and pointed at my head. I'd be like, do it and be genuine. You know, be like, please paint the fucking walls with me.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to crawl out of. It really is.
I think the term for that is passively suicidal, where if it's basically where you don't want to kill yourself, but if the opportunity arose, you wouldn't exactly stop it.
For sure. Yeah, like every once in a while you just cross the street without looking because you're like, well, if I get hit, I get hit. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you ever get into the meth end of things?
I have prescription Adderall. That's close.
It's pretty close. I mean,
I've taken too much of that before. I'm assuming it's close.
No, the thing I've noticed with Adderall is people with ADD love meth. They love it because it focuses them.
Oh, yeah. It totally works. 100%. I'm sorry I'm like eating on your show, but I'm starving. And I'm not on Adderall, so I have appetite. I can't eat anything.
No, go ahead.
No, just come back. We brought on a gun expert tonight because I've been threatened. We settled on this Glock with the knife. Thinking about putting one of those military grade flashlights on top that could burn you, like they have in the commercial now.
Oh yeah. Or you could just get no light. It'll detonate sometime.
Now, I read a book from a guy who was so good at martial arts that he could literally kill you with flashlights.
It depends on the flashlight, but yeah.
No, these are regular security guard flashlights. Phil Elmore, he taught me.
Phil Elmore?
Phil Elmore, he's a guy on the internet. It's the absolute worst human.
Is he that
it's a long story
guy who does the self-defense trainings, but they're fucking horrible?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I watch those just unfortunately, he probably makes a shit ton of money too.
I'm watching that. I'm going, if you follow any of this man's advice, you're going to die.
Yeah, you should feel guilty.
And I honestly, for the first 3 months I was watching his videos, I honestly thought that the guy was, if we had a producer, we'd have a video pulled up right now, but we don't. So, but I always thought that guy was joking. I thought it was a joke. I had no idea that guy thinks that he's real.
Yeah, no, apparently that's just that's his thing. And to be fair, some of the things he share are have a kernel of relevancy to them. Most of them don't.
The best video I've ever seen him do is when he was doing his knife thing, pulling his knife around, and he actually sliced half of his arm off.
What?
Yeah, there's a
that
video.
Actually happened? He gashed himself?
Yeah, he gashed himself live on air. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Find that later.
All right. Well, we have to get into a very quick Dabbleverse minute, everybody. Sorry, guest. It's something we have to do. We have to do it. We're contractually not obligated for 1 minute a week on this, so it's a Dabbleverse minute. Our friend Joey C is laying in a hospital currently right now, fighting for his life, and I don't think it's funny. All of you cocksuckers saying this shit, I don't think that a man dying is funny. But what do you think, Marco?
No, I don't think dying is funny. However, I do find it interesting that Christina, his wife, directly blamed Stuttering John for his heart attack.
Yes. Now, online, they're saying the man had a stroke. Christina says he had a heart attack. No one will give us any updates. We don't know if this is a work or a shoot. I hope it is a work.
Yeah, I'm in a sick way. I hope it's a work because that means Joey's okay. But if it is a work, then I might be a little bit pissed.
Yeah, and if you're gonna fucking prank people, tell your friends, "Hey, I'm not really dead because I am fucking on the edge of my seat waiting for anything."
Yeah, but I feel like if he was doing that, he would tell us. You know what I mean?
Exactly, 100%. And that has been the Dabbleverse Minute, everybody. Back to our guest.
I'll explain it all later. Just roll with it.
Oh, sorry, I was
whenever
into my mouth like an animal.
No, I thought that's when you said you were going to have a lunch. I'm just going, okay, let's get the Dabbleverse Minute out of the fucking way. Let this guy finish his sandwich.
That was exactly the cue I needed. The second you said that, I was like, fuck yeah, and just started eating.
Dabbleverse Minute brought to you by depression and sadness and being middle-aged and having nothing else to do than fight other middle-aged men on the internet. Dabbleverse Minute, everybody.
And diet meth.
Diet meth. Would you diet meth?
Whoa. Try that again. You cut out.
You want regular or...
Oh, Jesus, Johnny, you're cutting out bad.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Should we put up like Jeopardy music or something?
Well, if I was the producer, I might be able to do that, but unfortunately, Johnny had a stroke and is joining Joey Z in the hospital, or his headset's having a stroke. But either way, like I mentioned before.
Now, fucker.
Yeah, well, Johnny says this is my show anyway, so fuck it. Well, it's my show now. This is the Marco Show now with my guest, Papa Shango, also known as my brother, and we're going to be we've been talking about guns for a while now, and one in particular that I would like to ask you is, I came across this bit of information, I don't know if it's true, but I believe it was the man who invented the Gatling gun. He went deaf from creating the Gatling gun and creating more guns after the fact. And then his Johnny, you're hijacking my show?
Trying to hijack his connection back.
Well, it seems like he's doing. Anyway, what I was saying was that the grandson of the man who invented the Gatling gun would eventually invent the silencer.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but stuff like that does have a tendency to run in the family. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a
bit. And also,
yeah, it's actually kind of
sometimes a loose term with that sort of shit. Because
true.
Like, well, actually, there's this weird drawing of someone who might have had one 80 years before that, like.
Right.
But the modern day one, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Because if he invented the Gatling gun, he was probably deaf as fuck. That was a lot of 45-70 going downrange.
Yeah. And the thing that I find funny about the Gatling gun was that he invented the Gatling gun specifically to make a weapon that was so deadly that nobody would want to use it.
On your marks, get ready, set, go! On your marks, get ready, set, go! Get ready, set, go!
ladies and gentlemen, we are still live. It is still Too Stoned with Marco and my guest at the moment. Johnny is in the process of trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Mint Salad is not our special guest. Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ.
I could be Mint Salad if you want me to be. Except I don't watch movies.
I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore.
I don't know, something about the Gatling gun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was made the Gatling gun to make a weapon specifically so that nobody would want to use it because it was so deadly. And no, everyone used it.
I mean, yeah, it was. It kind of changed the face of warfare. Of course, they used it.
And also, yeah. And also, I saw that because the Gatling gun has 9 barrels, it's not considered a fully automatic weapon, even though it is, you crank it and it's fully automatic, but because it's a single shot out of 9 barrels, it's not technically considered fully automatic.
Yes, correct. And you're talking about the U.S. law when it comes to like what's considered fully automatic. So like a Gatling gun wouldn't be considered fully automatic, but something like a minigun would, because the firing mechanism is fundamentally different. But yeah, there's actually companies out there you can buy 9mm Gatling guns that take Glock magazines. They're like $6,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They work pretty well. And by the way, if I'm gonna be a dick about it, they had 6 barrels.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to make sure we get our facts right.
Right.
So, I know that you said that you don't really watch movies anymore, but what movie would you say had the most egregious foul when it comes to guns?
Oh, that's always such a good one. It's part of the reason why I don't like watching action movies with people, is the whole time I'm like, this is wrong!
Well, I remember you and me watching the Joker and that Joker movie, and there was a scene where he was killing those guys in the subway, and you're just like, 8 shots, revolver, fuck off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did shoot like a wrong amount. I don't recall exactly what it is. But yeah, there was a movie, God, what was it? I cannot remember the name of it. It's like an old 80s action flick, but there was some dude, it was towards the end of the movie, where he had, I think it was an M60, and he kind of goes onto this fire escape and starts blasting people, but the cartridges in the belt are backwards. That was a pretty good one. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Aside from the classic, like never reloading and or guns, people get shot by guns and they like jump up and they're like, whoa, and they get blasted. That shit doesn't happen. That's not how it works.
Or when the actor doesn't compensate for the recoil because they're shooting blanks.
Right. Or it's CGI'd, Yeah, it's just like completely straight bore, no recoil at all. Yeah. It's really hard to get guns right in media, apparently, when it comes to video games or movies. Obviously, I don't make them, but so many people fuck it up so bad.
Yeah, you would think that they would at least hire a gun expert to be like, hey, do you mind if you just bring your guns so that we can model our guns after them?
You mean like for a video game or something?
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily that like they look necessarily wrong, because a lot of the times on the surface they look really good. But for instance, Call of Duty Vanguard is like 3 Call of Duties ago or something. It was a World War II game. Was that World War II? Yeah, it was World War II.
Yeah.
And all of the guns were wrong, like all of them.
I do remember seeing one of those gun nerds just go on a massive tangent about how every gun was wrong and why.
I watched the trailer, just the trailer alone. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what? literally some of like the most made guns in history. And you didn't even bother like figuring out how they worked, like a little bit.
Well, I remembered one that got a good kick out of me was that all guns have red dot sights,
Yeah.
which didn't fucking exist in
No,
fucking World War II.
It exist.
They did?
Just weren't used like that. Yeah, they did exist. They were really finicky and fragile, and they were mostly used mounted to heavy machine guns. Which makes sense in that context, why you'd want something like that.
Right.
But yeah, ultimately they basically didn't exist. Like, they technically had night vision back then. Not really, but they did.
Yeah, it was didn't they call it the vampire? You had to like wear a fucking backpack and goggles and shit.
Yeah, it sucked a ton of power. Yeah, it was just insane. But, you know, it's the military. They gotta figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, big scary Russia will, points to the Mosin.
What do you think? Well, I mean, you got some guns that were from World War II.
I have one.
Oh, you have one. Yeah,
one.
you're Mosin.
Yeah. The rest of them are too goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I wasn't really counting the Mosin, because the Mosin's like this weird plane of existence in firearms. I guess then I have two. 1917 Springfield, which is just a 30-06 bolt action. It was a very, very standard issue U.S. military rifle. Mine wasn't. Mine's a commercial model. It's not a military one, but it's the same gun.
Right.
Besides, if I was to own one, I would much rather have a commercial model than a U.S. military-owned one any day.
Yeah, that was one that I came across, is that everybody thinks that when someone says that, oh, this gun is military grade, they automatically assume it's the best. Is it? No, the military is cheap as fuck.
Well, yes, that's true, but at the same time, like, when you get a gun that's from a military perspective, they're typically made a lot faster and a lot cheaper than a commercial one, because the commercial ones, they want profits, they want sales. You know, there's a whole market behind it. With a government contract, they're just like, give me as many guns as you can, as fast as you can. So you're actually, if you buy one that's military, you're probably going to have issues more often than with a commercial one. Hence, like I was saying about the 1917s exploding.
Am I actually back yet?
Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Am I here?
Yep.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ,
Yes,
I'm going
here.
fucking crazy. I don't know what happened. There's some music that played. It was a nightmare. Streaming get me every fucking time.
Hey, you made it an hour in, though.
Yeah.
It usually seems to go to shit after about an hour. So we've had a great night so far. We had a great guest tonight. Pablo Escobar. Or Papa Shango.
Pablo Shango.
Damn. Or Gregor, as his friends. Gregor and Megor. Like other Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You can call me whatever you want, man. That's cool.
And then we have a screenshot. A very one of our artist friends sent over a picture of what they thought tonight's show looked like. Let's pop it up here real quick. Come on, screen. I pressed it.
Go.
You should show it. It's been a great night. Apparently went into a time machine and got some girls from 1981 to show up.
That bitch's titties are almost out. It's like about as close as it gets.
I guess who would be the green one?
Who is the green one? Where's the green one?
I don't know. It's really been bothering me the last couple of days when I've seen this. I'm like, I've never seen a green Muppet like that.
I'm not familiar with the Muppets, so I was just like pretending the green one was normal. But once you mention it, I'm like, okay, there's something wrong.
He's He's the evil Muppet. He brings the cocaine and the horse.
I was about to say that's fucking Stash Man right there.
He wasn't allowed on network television.
He couldn't pass the background check.
Oh my god.
That was another
You
thing.
just needed
about my
to do what
party
you
days is
did.
I never got arrested. Never once got arrested. Somehow.
You
I don't
almost
know
did
how I got
once.
away with it. I almost did multiple times, but it never actually happened. Literally, like, passed out in a lawn, cops standing over me, not arrested.
I've been around. Yeah, I've fisted for that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I went to this
But
super...
you know,
Yeah, you know. It'd be like that. Yeah, I went to this super weird party one time where me and all my buddies, you know, we're just like driving around town drunk driving the whole time. I'm not condoning it. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
Searching for parties, hitting up everybody till we finally find one. And we get there, and I'm like 15 or 16 at the time. We get there, and there's like 3 dudes in like a tiny ass, like relatively suburban home. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And I get to the front door, and he's like, let me see your ID. And I was like, first of all, what the fuck? Second of all, I'm going to a party. I didn't bring my fucking wallet, you dipshit. And I was luckily well endowed with a beard at a young age. So he kind of eyeballed me and was like, all right, whatever, going. And again, there's like 2 dudes like doing coke off a table. And we're like, okay. Am I going to get like mugged? Like, what the fuck is happening here? But we just kind of like put around. And pretty soon, a bus pulls up out front and unloads like 40 people. And we're like, huh, that was weird. And then people start filing in from both ends of the block, like at once. Like somebody like shipped buses to this place. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. And this house was so packed, the party was literally, you couldn't get into the house. Like every square foot had a person in it. So the party was just spilling out into the street. There was no hiding it. There was coke fucking everywhere. And again, me with my social anxiety in that situation was just like, oh my god, my brain. And I just started vehemently drinking alcohol. I drank roughly almost an entire fifth of that like $11 raspberry Smirnoff. You know, that really cheap
oh
shit.
my god,
Oh.
no! Oh,
There's-
my
there was
stomach
this
is hurting.
One gay black dude who like every about 20 minutes would come by me and be like, can I get a sip of that? And I'd be like, yeah, man. And he'd have a sip and he'd be like, all right, I'll catch you again later. So it wasn't an entire fifth. And then I had like 2 or 3 shots of Fireball and like 2 or 3 beers.
Oh,
Way
oh my
too
god,
much
I'm getting sick just
alcohol.
hearing that.
Yeah. Until eventually
You seem
I
to
just
have
started,
this.
Go on.
You seem to have this track record of authority figures just going, fuck it, let the kid do whatever.
Yeah, kinda. But yeah, pretty soon I just started like scrummaging around the house, like babbling. Apparently, like obviously I wasn't there anymore, but yeah, freaking everybody out to like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Until I eventually stumbled outside and passed out on the lawn, and then apparently, again, I wasn't there. About 10 minutes after that, the cops cut the power and raided the fucking place. Arrested like, it was something like 8 cops arrested like 28 people. Like they were just fucking yoinking people. And so my buddies are all like, fuck, we gotta get Matt. And there's like 3 cops standing over me. They're like, oh, damn it. I'm like, is he with you? They're like, yeah. They're like, are any of you sober? My buddy was like, yeah, that was a lie. They're like, all right, get him home. I puked all over his fucking car. Just everywhere in there.
Oh Jesus, that's
He
the
didn't
worst.
talk to me for like 3 weeks. Well, and he was a car guy too. Like we were drifting around all night. This souped up Subaru something. He loved this car. And in the morning, I woke up feeling great, by the way, because I threw up all the poison. I woke up and I was like, I'm suspiciously not hungover. I should be.
In the
fucked right
meantime, his car smells like Milwaukee strawberries and cinnamon.
Yep. And my buddy, who was also the dealer, kind of woke up at the same time and he was like, Matt, you're a fucking vagina. And I was like, what? He goes, you puked in Kiwi's car. And I was like, oh, fuck. I sprinted out there and I cleaned it and everything. And by the time he woke up, he was like, you're a fucking idiot. I was in the car when you did it. Like, were you going to hide it that you threw up all over my car? I knew you threw up in my car.
I've done that on. I've done that on. You get party so hard, and you wake up the next morning, and you just throw up all over a chick's rug. That happens to me constantly.
Yeah. Luckily, I later went into carpet cleaning, so figured that
Well,
out.
I could use your business card. A lot of
I could
vomit.
use
The
a
old
carpet cleaning van.
Kush condo. The old Kush condo collects a lot of vomit.
Dude, those carpets. You know, me and the buddy who was the trap house guy, we both got the same job at a carpet cleaning business. And we could damn good clean some carpets. The carpets at the trap were never, ever coming clean.
Yeah, I
Those
remember
were,
at my
like,
place.
cursed.
I remember my place. We'd literally get up and pour one out for dime bag right on the carpet.
Good for you.
We didn't give a fuck. Put cigarettes out right in the carpet.
Oh, yeah. Somebody go downstairs, make like 3 liters of Kool-Aid in a 2-liter pitcher, and spill it all the way up the stairs.
Fucking drug addicts are the worst, dirtiest people ever.
Literally
Yeah, let
every
me-
time you open the microwave, there's ramen in there.
Speaking of microwaves, I see the greatest thing before we leave tonight. I have to show you guys. Let me pop it up here real quick.
Alrighty.
So this guy, this Trump guy, and I have no problems with Trump guys, but this guy's a fucking moron. Do I have it?
I mean, I'm not gonna say he's a fucking genius.
No,
I've
that's
seen
not the
this
right
thing
one.
on the telly, though.
Let me see if I can find this
It's
super
so boring.
quick.
It's up there, and he's just like, and you're like, I don't want to watch this. At least you know when Trump was on TV, like he was gonna say something interesting.
Every time,
Every
no matter
time.
what.
It didn't matter if it was good or bad. It was interesting.
I've never seen a guy get as much TV time as that guy got. He's still to this day the most talked about guy ever.
Oh yeah, by far.
Okay, I don't have the clip, unfortunately, but I'll tell you what happens. So this guy goes to Taco Bell, right? Gets himself a burrito and a taco, goes home, puts it in his microwave, and his microwave blows up because he doesn't realize that Taco Bell now is using tinfoil as wrappers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he goes
I
to the
blew up a
Taco.
crab microwave with a fork once.
I did too. I blew. I didn't know you couldn't put Chef Boyardee in a can in there.
Ooh.
Right. So the guy goes back to Taco Bell and he's typical white trash guy. He's like, I think you motherfuckers can pay for my goddamn microwave. No, nobody told me you want no goddamn tinfoil in the bag. I'm like, and the kid's just sitting there he finally just starts busting out laughing and the guy just slaps him across the face.
Ooh, lawsuit.
Ooh.
He slapped the kid at Taco Bell.
I mean, sounds
I
like he
mean-
was
I mean, good
generally
luck.
An angry, shitty person.
Well,
We'll play
good
the
luck
video next-
suing him. He obviously doesn't have any money.
Yeah,
what are you
he obviously
gonna
can't
get?
even afford to buy a new $40 microwave.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's buying Taco Bell, so that's like the cheapest fast food you can get.
Nobody told me about the kid just looks at me and goes, I didn't think we had to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
It's pretty
everybody
fucking
knew you don't
obvious.
microwave metal, you fucking idiot.
So at the end of it, a customer goes, you just get the fuck out of here. You slapped the fucking kid on the face. Get the fuck out of here, old man. And he looks at me and goes, I bet you're a fucking Democrat, you piece of shit. I'm like, come on.
Well,
You blew your microwave up with a taco.
almost impressive.
I don't know. I just love guys like that. You owe me. The guy who hits a pothole and goes to City Hall and asks the mayor to pay for his tire.
Yeah. The only time I'm ever like that is when I'm dealing with fucking Uber Eats.
Oh,
If
fuck
Uber
that
Eats
place.
fucks up anything on my order, I'm throwing a fit till I get that fucking money back every time.
Oh, it's a fucking paid. Oh my God. The best was Snoop Dogg. The driver pulled up. Apparently Snoop didn't see his phone and didn't let the guy in. And so like he goes, sorry, my food now, bro. And Snoop Dogg gets on and goes, I want my motherfucking food, motherfucker. And the guy's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Hung up on Snoop Dogg. So then Snoop Dogg goes, you know what? Fuck this motherfucking Uber Eats. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to order Postmates. And I'm like, Postmates is owned by Uber Eats, you dipshit.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like going to KFC and you're like, oh, fuck you. I'm going to Taco Bell. And you're like, well, it's owned by the same people.
Money's going to the same place.
So why you're really hurting us by not coming back to our Taco Bell and ordering $4 worth of burritos and the metal wrappers.
I mean,
Blowing
realistically,
up your microwave.
there's like this point, so it doesn't really matter where your money goes. You're paying the same people either way.
Yeah, it all goes to the Bilderberg group so they can, drink the adrenochrome of the children.
Right. But like,
make the
listen,
frogs gay.
if you've done it, you'd want to do it again. Not saying I've done it or anything.
If you know what to get, you got into that achrome, you let me know, brother. Oh.
The achrome.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So Marco, what else we got tonight? Anything?
Nothing really. I just saw that Judas Priest came out with a new single. I sent it to you. I liked it. Thought it was okay. I'm kind of curious to see what else they got. But I also thought your reaction of just anything related to Judas Priest is hilarious.
I'm not the biggest Priest fan.
Yeah, I can be real. I don't give a single fuck about Judas Priest anymore.
No, I'm just scared of gay guys in leather biker outfits having their way with me. I'm just scared. That's what makes me scared of Rob Halford.
To be fair, I mean, like, statistically speaking, that's probably valid.
Like Police Academy gay. That makes me the Blue Oyster Bar. That I'm scared of that. Ever since I've seen Police Academy, I've been scared of leather gays. So we had a really good night tonight. I think we're getting ready to wrap her up. What do you guys think? We've already incriminated our guest. Thank God we didn't tell anybody his real name because I'm too stoned to write it down. At the beginning of this, the guy's like, "Why the fuck are you calling me Papa Shango? This is my. What are you doing, you asshole?" And now at the end, he's like, "Thank God I didn't use my real name."
I guess I'm Papa Shango now.
See, it's good to have a stupid radio host once in a while.
And
once in a while something good falls out.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had some pretty good run of guests. Hopefully, we can have Papa Shango back.
Yeah, pleasure.
One of these days when he's not, busy shooting up shit and, bettering himself with bettering himself with a college degree. What a nerd!
Yeah, highfalutin with my software design degree.
Didn't your older brother teach you anything?
I taught him a lot, but it was all physical.
And it was under the pants usually.
Under the pants. My family would get together and watch the Wild World of Disney on Sunday, and let's just say there was pillows on top of my lap. I'm going to leave it at that.
There you go.
All right, Marco. Before you cut our special guest loose, you have anything else for Mr. Shango?
Nothing really. I'm just wondering, do you have that clip of Keanu Reeves that I sent you?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Ah, damn. All right. Well, I'm sure you've seen it before. I think it was when they were shooting John Wick 2, they released some footage of Keanu training with guns and just how fucking insane that dude is.
Yeah, no, he like legit took actual weapons training in preparation for that movie. He's actually damn good with a gun.
Yeah, he's good. You know, when he back in the day, he saw a dead chick down by the lake, and he didn't tell the cops. That's how good he was.
Did that actually happen?
God, I'm trying to remember the name of that. The River's Edge. One of his first movies back in the day.
Oh, yeah. See, I
You gotta check. If you're a Keanu Reeves guy, that's the one to do. One of his buddies accidentally kills his girlfriend, and they all try to hide it. I heard that. I heard he went. You know, I heard he went and killed a woman just to figure out how to do it before he did the role. That's how good he is.
That's how he acts. That's his pattern.
The role.
Yeah, it's the Eddie Spector method.
Full method acting.
Yeah.
All right, we want to thank the great Papa Shango, everybody. Thank you, sir, for coming on tonight and educating us on firearms and juvenile disobedience and
they go hand in hand.
The wonders of Adderall.
Yeah, that sounds pretty all-encompassing, doesn't it?
Yeah, right?
All right, man. We'll talk to you very soon, and thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
The great Papa Shango, everybody.
Toodles.
All right, good night, baby. Baby? What did I just call that man baby?
Where did that come from?
Good night, baby.
Was that a Freudian slip?
Them guns are getting me hot, baby.
It does that to a man. If you just give him a nice gun, you can't contain your erection.
So what a good night at Two Stone tonight. We went way over. You're like, dude, it's gonna go almost 2 hours, and I'm like, I know it. The only reason I cut it short is my phone is about ready to die, and it will not take a charge for some reason right now. Probably because I'm getting hacked by American Cupcake.
Yeah, maybe. Well, then I'll just make this quick then. My DMs on X or formerly known as Twitter are open at Marco V with 2 E's 193. That is also my Spotify profile where we have MHH Johnny's Picks, where songs that he has played on MHH News Desk and Marijuana Happy Hour, 13 and a half hours worth of just random music that he has played. It'll keep you busy for sure. Check it out.
It is the greatest playlist of all time. And I want to give a shout out to our new show. It's called Podcast Rescue. What we do is we go through and we target people's podcasts and we rescue them, make them better. And I wanted to play a clip before we left tonight. Our first subject, Rez. I don't know if you're Marco probably's been not aware of what's going on with Rez, but he sent over a response. I'm going to play it super quick. Guy I did the first podcast rescue on, he got a little upset. Let's see what he had to say.
Okay.
I can't believe this fucking Johnny Cush character. Did you see that shit? Fucking podcast rescue. The motherfucker's mic doesn't even work. But honey, he had good advice. No one does give a shit about your racquetball medals and U.S. Open medal behind you. How dare you? Don't you ever say that again. If Johnny Cush was in my face, I'd fucking spit on it like Chad Zumock at AC when he sees Melton. I swear to God. Fucking asshole. Stab me in the back. I sent him a fucking a fan mail. Everyone's shitting on him, and I give him a little bit of encouragement. I say, you know, I really enjoy your show. He fucking stabs me in the back in front of Elon Musk in the fucking Dabbleverse. He's gonna shit on me like that. He couldn't come behind the scenes. He had to embarrass me. Fucking embarrass me like this. But honey, he's only looking out for your best interests. You know, he's not wrong. How dare you? Are you a traitor?
Imitating his wife? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking Johnny Cush motherfucker. All right, honey, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so he took it real well.
Yeah, what the? Like either he's talking to somebody or he is actually insane.
Oh my God! So I told him, I said, Uresca will have you on the show, so we'll see what happens.
Oh boy.
We'll see if my advice takes. All right, big shout out to Rez.
My money's on no, but we'll see.
And if he takes my advice, what I told him to do is put some better clothes on and get some lighting and put away the trophies. I actually said the guy looked like a bass fisherman, like a pro bass fisherman. That's what he looked like.
I would take that as a compliment. What's so bad about looking like that? You look rugged, man. You look like you fish. What's so bad about that?
Well, he's got the trophies. You know who cares about trophies? Nobody but you.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody but you and people who even are fascinated with your sport at all. Other than that, nobody.
Nobody. All right, well, let's get out of here. I'm at 2%, so
oh boy.
We will be back next week. 1 a.m. We'll have another beautiful guest. I really want to thank Mr. Shango for coming on tonight. Really great guest. That guy was awesome tonight. You said he'd be awesome, and he delivered.
Yeah, he's a trip. Trust me. I knew what he was capable of.
So far, you brought 2 great guests on. I brought 1 crackhead on and another guy we couldn't understand. So 2 advantage Marco. And like I said, you got absolutely. You got a problem with me or the Kush Army? You send Marco V, MarcoVee 193. He is the Kush Army ambassador. Don't American Cupcake listen to that. You talk to him from now on. He takes care of my work.
Oh, I'm the one getting death threats now?
Well, I mean, you're the only one blocked by Stuttering John in this group right now. So, I mean.
Well, that's true.
That was the best thing today. He sent me that. You're like blocked by. I'm like, how in the fuck do you block Marco from anything? He's the nicest guy I've ever met. Literally.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I was fucking with him.
I'm like, all right, I'm rubbing off on him. Next thing you're gonna know is. Next thing you're gonna know, you're gonna have psycho truck drivers named Cupcake trying to murder you.
Yeah. Thanks for that, by the way. I'm gonna thank you in advance.
All right. Well, we're at 1%, and
Okay.
Thanks, Marco. Like I said, we'll be back next week, 1 a.m. East, 12 Central, 11 Pacific, 10 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast, the West Coast. Good night, everybody.
Yes, sir.
On your marks, get ready, set,